Hello, everyone out there in the Women's Net community. Welcome to a chat today with our three September 2025 grant winners. Today, I'm speaking with Heather Stewart of SparkFR, who is our startup grant winner. You may know that the startup winner is someone who has a business that is in development, startup phase, or that is up and running but hasn't yet earned $10,000. Kaamil Bey Isles of Child's Play School is our business specific grant winner for September. And last month, that category was education and childcare. And filmmakers Tori McCarthy and Anya Swanson of Blue Girl Productions is our Amber Grant winner. And the Amber Grant is open to all women business owners in the US and Canada. I'm Marsha Layton Turner. I'm one of several advisory board members, and every other month I get the chance to learn about all our fantastic winners. So thank you all so much for giving me your time. I really appreciate it, and I know everybody's going to be excited to hear about your businesses. So, Heather, let's start with you. But I'd like all of you to just share a little bit about your company, maybe where the idea came from, how it's been going so far. And as I said, Heather, let's start with you.
Well, my business is SparkFR and it's for flame resistant clothing for women. The idea came from my 20 years in the utility and construction industries. I know that it's really difficult to find women's FR clothing and just PPE in general. So I started researching online. I started reading reviews, and it's like a bigger problem than I thought. So I thought, why can't I be the one to change that? So I started looking into it. I've been thinking about it for quite a few years now, but I just didn't know where to start. And I talked to a coworker recently, and they kind of were talking about their business, and they said, you have to dive in head first. So I was like, I guess I'm going to do it. So that night I came home and I filed for an LLC, and here we are.
Amazing. Way to go. Tori and Anya, let's go to you. Tell us a little bit about your company.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit about us. Myself and Anya actually met during our graduate program at UT Austin in film and radio TV production. So we became colleagues at that time. We collaborated on some of our student films through that program and things like that, and became very close friends. And in the couple, handful of years since we've finished that graduate program, we were freelancing and, kind of hustling and grinding. And we're in Austin, Texas, which is a medium film market. Also, film is a typically pretty male-dominated industry. So we sort of came together with all our dreams and some frustrations and said, how can we make this work for us? And the idea really, I'll give Anya so much credit. She's has a pilot script that she's written, and we sort of just decided, let's start making stuff. Let's start making our big dreams happen. And the company kind of evolved as the vessel for that, for our partnership.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of that, it was very lovely, Tori. Um, yeah, Tori and I met when we were both grad students, already just, creatively collaborating a lot. We just instantly clicked when we met, and all the projects that we worked on, it only felt natural that, hey, let's just keep doing this post grad. Let's start a company. Let's bring our stories to life. It was just natural that we wanted to keep working together, and us coming together as a business really, yeah, just really set us forth in this whole, professional film industry that we're in. Do we want to talk about like the origins of Blue Cowgirl and where that came from?
We can quickly touch on it. I
Yeah,
definitely
just a
want to
little
be
bit.
mindful of
Yeah.
everyone, but
Yeah.
as we were sort of forming the company, I was on this crazy house hunting endeavor, and
Yeah.
during that, we found a very cute little house that had this mural of this crying cowgirl, and we sort of started chatting about it, the Blue Cowgirl, and it just sort of stuck and clicked. Naming things is so hard, so when you hit the needle on the head, you just got to take it, I guess.
Yeah, the quote was like, even cowgirls get the blues sometimes. I think it was around that. And so Blue Cowgirl really came from this idea of this, this messy kind of girl. She's not perfect. She feels everything. She's both like feminine and masculine. She's everything. She's a bit of messy, and that's okay. And that's kind of really embodying of who Tori and I are and the kind of stories we want to tell. So
Fantastic. And it's actually unusual for female partnerships, I think, just based on some of the stats that I've seen, that women tend to want to go it alone. So kudos to both of you for seeing that you could be stronger together. That's great.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Camille, how about you? Tell us about your company.
Yeah, thank you. Child's Play is an all-inclusive, play-based family childcare program serving infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. We blend caregiving with joyful, developmentally rich learning so children thrive, families feel supported, and teachers are valued as professionals. The idea grew from both passion and personal experience. I always dreamed of creating a school, and my path took me through many roles: middle school math teacher, principal, nonprofit operations director, and entrepreneur. But it was also as a mom when my own sons were expelled from daycare for developmentally typical behaviors that the vision became urgent. Child's Play School is the intersection of my worlds: the educator, the leader, the innovator, and the mom coming together to reimagine what childcare can be.
Fantastic. And where are you based, Camille?
We are in Oakland, California.
Excellent. Awesome. You've done it all, so you're in the right business.
Thanks.
So let's talk a little bit now, as you've all either started or in the process or growing your businesses. Were there any resources that you found, either locally, nationally, wherever, that you found really helpful in moving your business forward? And Tori and Anya, let's start with you. Was there anything that you might recommend to Women's Net members?
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely say for us, a huge thing has been just our local network here in Austin. Obviously, coming through the UT system and going to the university, we've had such a privilege of having incredible advisors and professors who are out there doing the kind of professional work that we're interested in, and maybe they're 10 or 20 years a little further down the line. So just like maintaining those relationships and keeping those communications really open and authentic has been incredibly helpful. And then also leveraging just the fact that Austin is a beautiful artistic community. So certainly community type events like South by Southwest, we made a major networking sort of push during that. Additionally, there's the Women in Film and TV network kind of here locally in Austin that we are participants in. So really just kind of getting out there, meeting as many people in the same field as us, and also broadening out, because obviously for our creative services, we love to connect with people who are doing interesting and different things that we can help kind of showcase as well. So the local community has been just incredible.
For sure. And I'll just piggyback, just, looking back on who our network was as freelancers, they want to see us succeed as a business partnership now. So not, just ignoring like what our past has been, but really leaning into that community that's been supportive of us as individual filmmakers and now as business partners too.
Excellent. I know Austin is just like the hot spot for entrepreneurial activity right now. So you're in a good place. Camille, how about
Yes, we
you?
love it.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna ask, since you're a local based business, were the resources that you turned to or found, are they Oakland based or were they broader than that?
Actually broader. I would say to start, I leaned heavily on my professional and personal background. My MBA in social entrepreneurship gave me the business foundation, and then my years as an educator and principal gave me the educational lens. Collaborating with Wonder School in my first 2 years was invaluable. They provided business coaching, guided me through the licensing process, supported the design and setup of my space, and established the initial infrastructure to launch. And then from there, I built outward. I worked with a graphic designer on Fiverr to create a clear, inviting website, and then also partnered with Brightwheel to simplify tuition, admissions, curriculum, and family communication. And then there's the perspective of being a working mom. That's the spirit in which I created Child's Play to meet the needs of both children and families. What continues to carry me forward is my entrepreneurial spirit and a constant drive to make things better. In many ways, tools help me launch, and it's the drive to improve and innovate that kind of keep moving us forward.
And you mentioned Wonder School. That's not a name I've heard. Is it a support system for schools?
Yeah, so it's an organization that helps people launch their own family childcare program. And so whether you're in a home or in an apartment, they help. It's a 2-year partnership, and they, really help provide you the infrastructure and guidance to kind of get you off of the ground. And then beyond that 2 years, you can decide if you'd like to stay with Wonder School. They certainly can help amplify your voice, or if you kind of want to go out on your own. And for me, that 2 years was invaluable. And I certainly felt ready after those 2 years to kind of go out on my own and do my own thing. So,
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you.
yeah.
And Heather, I didn't ask before, where is SparkFR based?
It's based out of Sacramento, California.
Okay, awesome. And any resources that you found particularly helpful?
I've done a lot of things, the hard way, and I'm self-taught mostly. But like reading a lot of the customer reviews, that's been really helpful to me, trying to get their, women's opinions on what they need and want. And then getting credibility and legitimacy through certifications like the WBENC or WOSB. I think those were really helpful because people don't really take you seriously until you have something to show for it, especially when you're a new startup. And then just being persistent. That's my biggest resource right now. So
Excellent. That's really smart, looking over customer reviews. That's a good market research technique, which we will talk about again soon. So thank you. Those are great. So yeah, let's talk about marketing, because I think for small businesses, especially, it can be such a critical piece or launching pad for your success. So Kaamil, let's start with you. Were there any particular marketing strategies or tactics that you've used that you found have worked really well for your business?
So far, word of mouth has been our strongest tool. When families feel supported here, they naturally share their experiences with friends and neighbors and coworkers. And that sort of trust is priceless. We've built on it by including parent testimonials on our website and encouraging families to cross-post reviews on platforms like Google, Berkeley Parents Network, and Winnie. Having a professional website was also a really big differentiator. Not many family childcare programs have one, let alone one that's information rich and paired with a promotional video. That video still captures the energy and ethos and joy of our program. Looking ahead, I want to share more of our story, highlighting teacher voices, parent testimonials, and everyday learning moments on social media, which I'm still learning, and partnering with local parent groups. For us, marketing isn't about ads. It's really about storytelling and building authentic community connections. We can't grow in size, but we can certainly grow in influence by showing what high quality childcare can look like.
Amazing. Heather, how about you? Any particular marketing tactics that have been working well for you?
I think that trust and community or connection are like the two biggest things for me. When you work in the trades, you have to be able to rely on the people you work with because, a lot of the industries are very dangerous. You also have to rely on your PPE to make sure that it's going to protect you. So I want to build good relationships with the women that are going to wear the product. I, in the past, have gone through the PG&E Power Pathway program hosted by Tradeswomen Inc. out of Oakland. and they, I think would be a really good resource. So I'm creating surveys to put out to have women respond so we can get like really good feedback from them. And then the thing that I'm most excited about is that I'm going to be creating a mobile trailer that's like a fitting unit. So I can take it to job sites. And once I have my gear, I can put it in the trailer and we can do, events or go to safety days and just get it out there. Because one of the other biggest issues with FR clothing is the long lead times. So when you place an order, it could be weeks, months before you get it. And then you get the wrong size and you have to go through the process again. So I feel like if we can have it available and ready for women that, try on the field, they can get it faster. And then, word of mouth from there. And then just seeing, the logo or on the trailer would be helpful. So that's my biggest thing.
That's smart. And it reminds me of the Snap-on tool sort of business model of bringing the tools
Yeah.
to the mechanics and things. That's really smart.
Actually, my dad, he's a mechanic. So he always had the Snap-on truck come to our house when we were kids and they would bring us candy. So we would always get really excited about that. But my dad would love going in there and, shopping. And it's a different experience when it comes to you, so.
Yeah. Genius. Way to go. Tori and Anya, how about you? What kind of marketing techniques have worked for you all?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the first things we did, and as we sort of launched, and my background actually comes from the ad agency world, and I was formerly a creative director before I went to the graduate program. So the first thing we did was a kind of 360-degree branding campaign. So we had our logo developed, which I know we're both deeply in love with. We had our website built out, which we hope to kind of bulk up with some more of our portfolio type work as we continue to grow. We've really leveraged a lot of our very diverse past work, which is advice I would give to all creatives out there, not to feel tentative of showing off the work that you had done previously to, launching your business, because it's still your work and representative of your capabilities. We've put a lot of effort into, speaking of capabilities, building out capability decks that are very specific to the different sort of like quadrants or genres of work that we can do. We kind of have very complementary skill set. Anya has a sporting background. We both have documentary background. As I mentioned, I come from an advertising world. So we're kind of casting a broad net because we love to tell all different kinds of stories. I would also say it's been a major differentiator that I'm very happy and proud of, that in Austin, we really are probably the only fully women's led production company. It is typically, a boys club. And being a boutique kind of production company as well, we want to be very accessible to creatives and creatives and small business owners and other folks like that here in Austin. But I think the fact that we're a team of, femme-identifying people has really opened up a lot of paths for us in terms of the type of content that we're being invited to create, whether that's healthcare content, whether that's LGBTQIA plus content. I think there is an appeal for folks of, working with us as women filmmakers in particular.
And I would just add on to that. I mean, that was brilliantly said, Tori. Just, again, relying on that word of mouth, as freelancers in film, like it very much is word of mouth and reputation. And we've worked with some incredible people. They've loved working with us. So as we transitioned into starting a business, we just did the same thing of like, hey, you know how I was freelancing editing for you? Now I've got a business partnership with Tori, who's done incredible cinematography work. Like, come hire us as a full package for you. And just, letting people know in our community, in our network, they want to know this. So that's been really, really helpful. And again, relying on that UT community as well with our professors and previous faculty that we've had giving us all this guidance.
As well as our colleagues through the grad program and folks that now are trusted vendors for us that we can call up and say, hey, we need a photographer on this day, things like that. It does tend to spread in that sort of way. So relationship building is so key.
Completely agree. Yeah. Well, so let's wrap up with one quick question for each of you. What's one thing that our community, the Women's Net community, can do to show support for your business? If you're not yet members of the Facebook community, we have over 26,000 women business owners there. who want to learn more about starting a business, building a business, and I know that they would want to support you. So starting with Heather, what's one thing that people in our community can do to help you?
Help us with getting visibility, just getting us out there. So that would be the biggest for me for
Can
my
they
business.
go to your website? Do you have a newsletter? Can they follow you on social media?
Yeah, I do have Instagram. I'm still building it. I just made it recently, and then I have a website. It's under development, but you can go to it and kind of check it out. But just getting our name out there and what we're doing, and that we're trying to build this with women and not just for them. So.
Love that. Tori and Anya, how about you? What's one thing that we can encourage our community to do to support you?
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely check out our website, bluecowgirlproductions.com. Our reel is there, a little bit of our backstory and a little bit of kind of our values and point of view as artists and business people. You can also follow us on our Instagram, which is fairly fresh, but we're looking forward to having a major social media campaign kind of push coming out. That's at Blue Cowgirl, pardon me, Prods, Prods. And then the other thing is we're just really looking to connect with other business owners that we can kind of have like a symbiotic, collaborative relationship with. So for folks looking for photo, video content, or anything in between, we would love to continue to grow our network of folks that have shared values, and we can help highlight the great work they're doing as well.
Mhm. Excellent. And Kaamil, how about you? What's one thing Women's Net can do to support you?
Yeah, the Women's Net community can support Child's Play by helping amplify our story. Sharing our mission on social media or with families who are looking for nurturing care can make a real difference. Beyond visibility, encouragement and connection are powerful.
Yeah.
Introductions to like-minded educators, business mentors, or even parents searching for programs aligned with our values. Every connection really strengthens our ability to grow and influence, even if we can't grow in size. And of course, votes for the year end and for Grant help us take the next big step in creating an even richer learning environment for children and families. So votes, shares, and introductions are really more than support. They're fuel for a movement to reimagine what childcare can be.
Amazing. Well, thank you for so much for sharing your stories with us. And congratulations again on being our September grant winners.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, and congratulations, everyone.